it's Transition Tuesday. This is Joe. I'm Jane. And today we are talking about Sume meetings. Not Zoom meetings, Sume meetings. Sume is the Latin root for many words that apply to people in the disability world. Sume, sumere, means take in the Latin root, and you will recognize that Latin root in words like assume. Assume, he doesn't understand. That's a example of an assumption that people make often about guys like Joe who don't use words to communicate, who need a high level of support to participate in things, but are often left out. People assume Joe doesn't understand what's going on. I know this because they ask me. They look at me and they say, does he understand what's going on? Doctors, and you know, they're getting to know him. Sometimes people assume that Joe doesn't understand and they talk to you like you're a baby, or they don't talk to him at all. They just talk to me, and Joe's right here. Do you like when people assume that you don't understand? Does that upset you when they assume you don't understand? Yes. Touching my yes hand. Yes. I can see it in his face. What we want is for people to presume that he wants to be a part of things, that Joe wants to participate in things. That's self-determination. Presuming competency. When you presume competency, that means that you accept the person that with the disability that you're working with or working for, and you help them determine a couple of things. You ask them questions to find out what is important to them or what is important for them. Then you engage them in the process of including them in these decisions, and then when things happen, you celebrate. So we're going to give you an example of some questions that you might ask in your Sume meeting. And you know, you don't have to have a disability to make decisions this way. But we're going to ask a couple of questions. So Joe, is it important for people to know your opinion? What do you think? Is it important for people to know your opinion? Yes or no? Yes. It is important. Is it important to you for others to hear you express yourself, for others to give you the opportunity to use your voice? Is that important? Yes or no? You can tell me with your voice or yes or no. What do you think? Do you like it when we include you in your meetings and ask you what you think? Your IEP meetings and your ISP meetings? Do you like it when we ask you what you think about things? I see you looking at me. What do you think? Sometimes Joe smiles as an answer to a question. We talked about this last week. Sometimes Joe's motor planning to get his arms to work or his voice to work is not always consistent. So we asked Joe if when he smiles, is that an answer yes? And he said it is. So sometimes Joe answers and responds in a variety of ways. And, you know, you have to pay attention and get to know a person to understand when they are communicating with you, especially if they don't use words. So I feel like Joe is communicating with me right now. And I think he does feel that it's important. When we talked about this last week, I said, do you think it's important for you to be heard when you make a choice or express an opinion? And he agreed right away. So I'm going to ask you again. So he's having some spasms because he's a person with CP, and those folks have spasms sometimes. So that's what that is. That's not I'm mad or upset. That's, you know, my CP is being ornery. So Joe, do you think it's important for people to respect your opinion or your choices? Is that important? Yes or no? Yes. Are you saying yes? Or are you saying no? Do you remember when we picked out this shirt? Joe decided he wanted to shop for some clothes, and he picked out this shirt. It's an octopus. Let me move the camera. It's an octopus with sparklers, holding sparklers in its tentacles. There, now you can see it. Now, that is not a shirt I would have picked, but Joe liked it and he chose it. And I think for an 18-year-old young man who has to work so hard to make his opinions known and expressed, that he deserved to get the shirt that he liked. And if he didn't have CP, he would probably be buying his own clothes anyway, and I would just be shaking my head. So that's how it is. So we're engaging. We ask questions. Do you want to shop for some clothes? Yes. Do you like this shirt? Yes. We engage. We get the shirt, and then we light the sparklers and celebrate. So these are just some ideas. I'm going to start doing some blog posts to add a little depth and layer to what we talk about, offer some research-based information on presumed competency and self-determination ideas and research. And if you want to see some of our other videos, go to Transition Tuesdays with Jane and Joe on YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us if you have questions or comments about any of the things we've talked about today. We would love to hear feedback from you because we're presuming that you're competent. Bye.